Hey, what's up my friends? There are two things that you need to know about this DREO Space Heater before you buy it. I'm going to talk about those two things in just a second. But first, let's go over some of the features and what it's like to actually own this space heater. This thing is a mighty little unit. We've absolutely loved having it around our house. So a couple things about that make this unit different than other space heaters that I've used in the past. First, let's start with the cord length. It has a really nice 6-foot cord on it. So it doesn't matter, you don't have to have this space heater right next to an outlet or use extension cords, which actually don't recommend using anyway for space heaters. They should be plugged directly into the wall. So having that extra cord is really nice so that you can put the heater wherever it is that you want to heat it. Now this is a very small unit, so but it does a really good job at handling like a typical bedroom. I would say something like 12 by 12, 15 by 15. This thing's gonna do a really great job at just taking the edge off of the cold and making it nice and comfortable. Couple of features to know. So when the heater's not on, you actually can't see the LED. The LED is right here in this gold band. So it looks nice, it looks a little bit cleaner. All the controls are up here on the top and they're touch. So they're not actual buttons. So as soon as this thing gets dusty or anything like that, as these things tend to do because they're moving air, you can just simply wipe it down and it keeps it really nice and clean and good looking. This is your air intake on the back side of the heater. Now, you're going to want to unplug the heater anytime you're doing anything with it, especially cleaning. But eventually, you are going to want to clean out some of these spaces with like a Q-tip or something like that. Because again, they're sucking air up. They're going to collect all that dust and then pushing it out. Same thing with the screen on the front here. And you can just wipe that down with a cloth and to keep it really nice and clean. You can see the heating elements right here. Now the nice thing is about this heater that most of the smaller space heaters don't have is an actual thermostat. So it can measure the temperature of the room and then adjust its settings accordingly and be automatic. You don't even have to worry about it, which is so nice. Now, if you want to set it manually, you absolutely can. That's not a problem. But I use it in automatic mode all of the time. I set the temperature of the room, 69 degrees, 70 degrees, whatever it is that I want. And then I just let this little thing do its trick. All right, so on the top here, button-wise, we have a power button. We have a timer button, which can go from 0 hours, 0 is timers off, to 12 hours. So you can actually run this thing 12 hours and then it will shut off for you. You have plus and minus. This is obviously temperature selection, fan speed selection, stuff like that. And then you have a mode button right here. So I'm just going to turn this on so you can see what this thing looks like. Hopefully you can see that LED a little bit. Right now, it's on heat only, not using the thermostat. So it's on heat level 2. So if you were to change that, then it changes. If you push the mode button, it changes it to now we're running off the thermostat. And it's set to 85 degrees and it's going to do whatever it needs to do to react to the temperature of the room according, right now it's probably 72 in here. So set at 85, it's going to go full heat, full power, full fan. As I start to decrease the temperature, it's going to make the necessary adjustments. I'm guessing if I go down to 70 here, then it's going to adjust. Yep, it's already taken the heat away and taking the fan speed down. Now you should also know that everything is measured right back here on the fan. So as it gets closer to the ground, it's a little bit cooler near the ground. That's one thing to really know is down towards the ground, especially if it's on tile or hardwood, it's going to be cooler down there. So make sure you adjust accordingly, and that knowing that you're getting the reading at floor level or whatever you have it on. You could have it up on a desk like this or something like that, but that's key. All right, so we have thermostat mode, and then we have just fan. You can have it just blow air, and that, it can work as like a little fan for you as well. Then to adjust heat, if you just want straight heat, you can use the plus and minus buttons to go heat 1, heat 2, or heat 3. Those are 3 levels of heat They include both fan speed and the temperature of the heat coming out of the unit. Now, if you want to lock this unit, like a child lock, you can hold down the timer and the, oops, I turned the timer on. You can hold these two, the minus and the timer, down for 3 seconds. It'll count for you, and then you're locked. LC means locked, and then a little lock shows up to let you know that nobody can come along and accidentally push one of these buttons and accidentally turn it on. So if you try to push something, it'll let you know that it's locked. To unlock it, you just hold them both down again, and then it unlocks, and then you can make your make it whatever adjustments you want to make. And then finally, the last thing we need to talk about is the remote control. You have all of the same controls on the remote control, except for you have one additional, which is mute. So you can actually mute the sound of the buttons if for any reason you don't want to be able to hear when you press a button on the unit, you can mute that. But you have a large power button here on the remote. You have plus and minus. You have a mode button, so you can change the mode, a timer button, and then an LED button, so you can change the brightness of the LED that's on the front of the unit, just in case you're in a dark room and the LED is too much. And then you have a mute. So those two buttons, both brightness and mute, you can't control on the unit, but you can with your remote, which is really nice. Obviously, you can have this bedside or couch side, whatever whatever fits your scenario, to be able to control it and not have to get up and actually touch the unit. So I'm sure you're gonna love this thing. It is a power horse for its size. The footprint is small and it looks really great. It's a great addition to our home, and I think you're gonna like it as much as we do. Thanks so much for watching. Peace.